All right, now that you know how to write a concept statement for your science lesson, let's talk about wonder stories. And really, what wonder stories are is they are adapted texts that set up your lesson. They lead directly into your lesson and they set your student up for that. And they're related to things like daily living activities, things that the students know about and engage in, or they might be related to things that are going on in the world around them. And what they really do is they provide context for your lesson. And it's what is called an anticipatory set for engagement. And if you're not familiar with that term, anticipatory set, it is an activity that draws the student into your lesson. Some people call it a hook. It's something, again, that's going to grab their attention, that's going to get them invested in your lesson and get them more engaged because it's going to pique their interest. It links the standard to real world or personal experiences. So by telling a wonder story and connecting it to things the students know, it makes that link to that standard. You generate it with a purpose. When you write a wonder story, you are specifically writing it to set your students up for learning. And remember, that wonder question is directly aligned with your concept statement. It is based in fact. Now, that doesn't mean that your story can't be made up, that it's not a real story, but the facts in it are real. And then you always, always, always end with a wonder question. And it can be, I wonder blank, I often say, and then I was thinking to myself, I wonder what. And I'll show you. So here is the one that we looked at earlier, and I have the whole thing now, so I'm going to read back over it. But this is the whole wonder story, and this is one that like a teacher would write. And if you notice, this wonder story is picture supported. So if you have a student that needs picture supports, then I need you to write a wonder story that has those picture supports built in. So let's look at a sample of a wonder story. Again, this one's called My Dog Lucy. When I was a little kid, my dad brought home a puppy. Now, all of our students are aware or have had a dog or a puppy at some time. So you can see this is something that's going to draw them in because they can connect with it. So my dad brought home a puppy. She was a tiny fuzzy, she was tiny, fuzzy, and loved to cuddle. She had a little nose and a round face with tiny paws. We named her Lucy. As time went on, Lucy got bigger and bigger. She wanted to play fetch all the time. She ate and ate. It seemed like she was always hungry. Pretty soon, Dad said she was full grown. Her nose was long and her paws were huge. Now, listen to this. At the same time, Dad said I was growing up. He showed me pictures of me as a baby, and I was so tiny, just like Lucy. My dad said, my, how you've changed since then. I wonder, do animals go through changes? So see how this one is different, right? This one is showing not only the animal, sorry, I have a hair that's tickling my nose, but also how that relates to him as a baby. And this would be the first part of your lesson where you were talking about animals going through changing and obviously like what they need to grow and to survive. But then the second part of your lesson would be about humans, about people and them doing the same thing because we all need specific things, right, to grow and to live. So that is one example of a wonder story. And again, as you see, that wonder question is at the end. And what I would do is I would have this: do animals go through blank? And that blank would be changes, and my vocabulary word would be changes. All right, let me stop sharing for a second. I want to pull up another wonder story to share with you. This is one that is from the Attainment Center. And so when you see this, this is a professionally produced wonder story. All right, here it is right here. And this one is called After the Rain. And so this one looks different because it's not picture supported in the actually within the text, but it has illustrations to help support students' understanding. So let's look at After the Rain. Pitter patter, the rain is falling so hard and smooth. I must stay inside today. I can't play outside. I can't take my dog for a walk or even fly my kite. I look out the window and what do I see? Wet trees, wet cars, and even my bicycle is wet from the cold rain. Clouds are in the sky, and the rain is stopping the sun from shining through. Wait, I see the sun. The sunlight is bright and warm. The clouds have moved away, and the rain has finally stopped. I'm going to take my dog for a walk outside. What a pretty day it has become. And again, see how this is supporting that text. My dog, Basil, and I are walking down the street when all of a sudden I look up and I see beautiful colors in the sky. I see the color red, I see the color orange, I see the color yellow, I see the color green, I see the color blue, I see the color violet. The rainbow is amazing. My dog, Basil, loves it too. I'm starting to wonder, Wally, what makes the rainbow's colors? And so you can see that story led up to that wonder question. And you can see it builds. Here it's talking about it's raining outside. Here it starts talking about the sky and the rain stopping and the clouds are moving away and that the sun is shining through. So all of this is building up to what is needed to create a rainbow. So again, just want to share that with you so that you could see another example of a wonder story. All right, let's go back to our content real quick. And so what I want you to do now, I'm sure you're not surprised, is I want you to stop the video and you are going to write a wonder story to go along with your standard or your essential element that you have chosen. And I have to apologize. I was trying to keep track of our questions and I stopped. I apologize. So this is some number on your document. But again, stop the video and look at the essential element that you're going to be teaching your lesson on and write your wonder story. If you're right now, you can just write the words. Let me say that. You do not have to do all of the pictures and the illustrations. But if you have a student or students that need those picture supports, they need to be in the wonder story for your science lesson. All right, go ahead and write your wonder story now. All right, so that probably wasn't quick, right? It takes you a little bit of time to stop and think about what all you should include in your wonder story. But if you have any questions, make sure you run them by me. I'm happy to read over it and give you feedback as you would like. So you've written your wonder story. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that is all for this video. So let me know how you're doing. How do you feel on wonder statement? Wonder stories. I feel good about my wonder story. I might need to meet with you, Ty, to talk to you about my wonder story, or I am lost. Can we continue to go over this, or can I have some individual time? Because questions are always welcome. Happy to meet with you and to adjust that meeting time as needed to, and when possible to meet your availability. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Good luck on your wonder stories.